Hi, I'm Lice, and if you're anything like me, you get overwhelmed super easily in any game you play. And today, Old School RuneScape got the new giant bosses, and well, one big focus of this boss is flicking between a lot of gear sets. That's something I'm not very good at because, once again, I get overwhelmed easily. So I'm just here to show you that you don't necessarily need all this fancy stuff in order to get a fine kill. I already killed it once, took me about 8 minutes, and in that kill I learned that, quite frankly, you don't even need to really go with ranged. So I'm just gonna be camping my Swamp Bark, but like if you have any other magic stuff that doesn't give negative melee bonuses, then that will be totally fine. I'm going with my Guff Escape for some extra magic attack. I'm just gonna camp my Zombie Axe and Dragon Defender because it only has -3 magic. I'm gonna use my Rada's Blessing for some prayer. I got my Amulet of Glory for some extra attack stats. Barrow's Gloves, if you have them, that's perfect. If not, see if you have something similar. Gonna wear my Spike Manacles for some harder melee hits, and, well, a Ring of Wealth, because why not? I'm using the Explorer's Ring to teleport here. I got myself a rune pouch with blood runes, fire runes, and water runes, and then I've got some extra air runes so I can cast Water Wave and Fire Wave. And this is the screen I'll have open for the majority of the fight, only really switching to my inventory if I need to either drink a prayer potion or if I need to eat up. I've got my Royal Seed Pot if I need a quick TP out, and then, well, I have quick prayers, but I just only have it on Protect from Melee. It's the only prayer I'll really have on this fight. You can also, of course, have things like Piety on, but quite frankly, that just makes your prayer drain way too quickly if you don't have prayer gear on. So I'm just going to go without it. And I'm going to show you guys that you don't need all this fancy schmancy stuff in order to do just fine of a fight. So before we go in, let's drink up. Set ourselves to the magic book. And start. And they will kind of walk away from you, but this time you can kind of like use quite well to show like, hey, you can douse the fires with water, you can douse the ice with fire. And it kind of gives you an idea of how this whole fight works. And then once they walk into melee distance, you can just start smacking them. And for these attacks, you want to have Prey melee up, otherwise it kind of hurts. But it's on its own like a really chill fight. Of course, like you can go for all those switches and essentially get much faster times, but I'm just here to show you that you don't necessarily need that. And then once these little minions spawn, you just, manually cast. And as you can see, you don't even really need to have like a staff weapon. I am splashing a whole bunch. This is why I like to have some positive magic bonuses, but there we go. Like, without switching and without taking a lot of damage, I did take them out just fine. And I do want to reiterate that this is by far not a guide to effectively killing them or efficiently killing them, but it is a guide for people like myself who get overwhelmed really easily. And when they walk away, normally people would be like, oh, now is the time to switch to your range gear and fight them like that. I like to just use that time to clear some obstacles. And as you can see, they kind of like, they don't stop meleeing at the same time, so you can really use that time to, well, it means that there's much more often just someone in melee range. Like, this guy is gonna walk away, but you can still attack the king. Meaning that most of the time you don't even need like a range switch. There'll still always be someone you can attack. There we go. And this just is gonna repeat for a while. And then if you say like, oh, my prayer is getting kind of low, you just switch to this page for a moment and then back to magic. And again, like, I think my previous kill time was about 8.5 minutes, which is a lot longer than, you know, most people will have for this kill, but, well, those people will be getting overwhelmed. Or not. Maybe they're just god gamers, but I would be getting overwhelmed. And if you don't manage to kill these guys in time, that's totally fine. They don't deal a lot of damage. It just, like, if it happens a lot, it will start building up. And just to kind of show that you don't need god skills either, like, levels, I'm just, like, 80 in pretty much all of my skills. And now they split up, so now we're just gonna focus one down so there's less minions as time goes on. And then you stand on these little yin and yang signs, so you don't take damage. They do their spell 3 times, and then you can go back to attacking them. And this is why you kind of want to focus one down as well, is so only half the minions will spawn, which makes it even more chill. And just keep smacking them, and then there's some ice guys, so we'll take out the ice guys. And did I just melee the ice guy? That's really funny. Take out the fire guys. And it speaks for itself, by the way, but yeah, you use water wave on the fire guys and fire wave on the ice guys. Either douse the fire or melt the ice. And just like that, this dude is dead. Almost dead. 2 and 3. Come on. One more cool thing is, like, once he dies, like, his minions also die. Another thing, though, about the fight is once only one king is alive, they'll start hitting through prayers with their little groan attack. So it's probably, like, why you kind of want to, like, keep him around a similar health, possibly, but with some food you'll be fine. But I suppose you can maybe, like, kind of keep him around the same health. I don't know if that's better or not. I suppose normally you'd be doing this with a friend. So if you play this with a friend, like, they'll kind of go down in health at the same time. And then you don't have to deal with, like, only one of them being alive still, but as you can see, they don't deal a lot of damage. And if you are like, oh, I'm starting to get low, just wait until you need to stand on the yin-yang sign and then eat up, so that you don't have to deal with, like, attack delay from eating. And now full health again and just fighting just fine. As you can see, you don't take damage. So, okay. 1, 2, and 3. I'm just getting an page. What is extra? 2 and 3. And then we get HP left. I suppose that if you have relatively low stats, that it's best to do this with a friend. I think then you don't really have to deal with those 3 prayer hits. But if you're anything like me, you don't have friends to play this with. So here's a little chill solo guide. You don't get the chance to get a lot of hits off, which is a bit of a shame, but we're almost done. Only 42 HP left. Can we get a cheeky hit in? Oh, almost. Let's finish this, and boom. That's the dead king. And now you get to choose one of them to loot. You can also sacrifice for a bigger pet chance, I suppose, or just take pages that you can transform into some kind of book pages. I'm just gonna loot, and we get some soul runes and lanternine seeds, which is worth, I don't know, not that much. And then I like to TP out. If you're, like, got game and barely use anything, then you can stay. Like, I suppose technically I could have stayed. I still had a whole bunch of food and a whole bunch of prayer. But I like to just teleport out and restock up on stuff. And then use my Explorer's Ring to teleport relatively close to the boss fights. Now, once again, this is by far not a perfect way to do this. I mean, as you can see, it took 8.5 minutes. The first kill I did was 8 minutes and 17 seconds. So it's not that fast, but it's a really chill way to do it. So you don't really have to worry about getting overwhelmed if you get overwhelmed easily. But I hope you have fun. I hope it goes well for you, and good luck getting yourself those drops from the giants. Bye bye.